Julia Garner.
We're
Josh
following
Brolin.
Julia Garner. She's a teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a teacher in a classroom of students where everybody disappears one day except for one. And that's Pedro Pascal. It's like, what?
And you guessed it, Pedro Pascal.
He's back.
As a 13-year-old.
Daddy's back.
Or not even 13,
it's like
like
an 8-year-old. Just catch Pedro Pascal in it.
Just use this pen and shave a mustache. You'll be fine.
De-age him.
De-age him. Do it till he's 8.
Welcome to Fresh Out. I'm Cude.
I'm JC.
And we're fresh out of weapons.
Weapons takes us to a small town where a group of children from one unlucky classroom mysteriously go missing as the parents and the rest of the community try to understand why. So, weapons.
Weapons. Ooh. So, dude, we're back. Zach Cregger, his follow-up to Barbarian, which was a masterpiece. Yep. I'm gonna, dare I say it.
Oh, you should.
But we're back with a movie that is not like Barbarian at all.
No, it's definitely a different film, right? We've got Julia Garner, right? She was Ruth from Ozark.
Yeah.
She's actually playing an elementary school teacher who has a classroom full of students that magically disappear.
Yep,
right?
Except for one kid.
Except for one kid.
Yep.
And somehow her classroom is the only classroom in the entire school.
Yep.
So everybody obviously is going to blame her.
You have parents like
Josh Brolin.
Yeah. Yep. He blames her. And we have a lot. We have basically this movie has like 5 main characters.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? You have,
and there's multiple perspectives too.
And that's the thing about this movie. So this movie does a chapter type of thing where it shows it from like 5 different perspectives. We have Julia Garner, the teacher's perspective. We have Josh Brolin, one of the parents' perspective. We have a cop. What's his name?
Oh yeah,
Alden Ehrenreich.
Yes, Alden Ehrenreich. Yeah, he was from Solo. He's the main Solo Star Wars story.
He's a cop.
Yep.
We have it from his perspective. We have a drug addict.
Austin Abrams. He was from Euphoria, also from Wolves. He was the crazy kid in the underwear running around.
And then we have, is it just those 4?
No, and then Benedict Wong from the Marvel Universe, from MCU.
And it shows it from his...
It shows it from his perspective,
okay, yeah. So you have different perspectives, and that's the different thing about this movie is it breaks down the movie into the different perspectives and shows the same 2 days. I think it was like a 2 or 3 day type of thing.
Yeah.
And it shows those 3 days from those 5 different viewpoints. And
Zach Cregger's Barbarian from before, right? We did see different perspectives, but they weren't perspectives from the exact same day. It was more interlinked timelines, like where they eventually meet up at some point. Whereas this one has a little bit of that, but because you have so many perspectives, obviously a lot of these characters are interacting, and actually then you get to see different perspectives. You get to see kind of right at the tail end of some of these perspectives is the beginning of someone else's.
Yeah. It does that a couple of times.
Sometimes you see a character, you haven't seen their perspective yet, and you see kind of the end, or, like kind of where they have, we don't want to give too many details.
So
but
some of the perspectives have anxiety to it.
Yep.
Some of the perspectives have comedy to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Some of the perspectives have spookiness to it.
And I think we talked about this afterwards. This looks like a horror. It's supposed to be billed as a horror. It's marketed
as a horror.
Yeah,
it is not a horror.
Yeah,
it is not a horror.
It's more of a mystery.
Yeah, it's a thriller. It's
comedy.
A thriller with no.
Yeah.
So he thinks it's more of a comedy than I do.
Comedy.
There were sprinkled jokes in there, but I would not go to this movie thinking like it's a dark comedy. It's not a comedy.
Yeah, it's more of the comic relief.
It's a thriller. So it's a thriller with spooky elements, with horror elements to it. I would say that.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the comedy is just a part of horror now. I feel like every horror movie
has some,
other than the Conjuring universe, which is like deathly serious. every other horror movie kind of has comedy.
There was like bodies, which is kind of like
exactly.
I mean?
So every horror movie these days has kind of sprinkled in comedy,
and you can
that's
see
just a part of
you
it.
can see kind of like the same way in Barbarian, like similar to the way there is that comic relief where you're like
the tone
what
of it,
you know, maybe not quite to the same level, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
So the thing that stood out to me on this movie is while Barbarian maybe had a setup of 30 minutes and then the movie actually started, this movie had a longer setup, which was not a good thing for me. It's not gonna. Everybody's gonna be different on this. I just feel like the setup was like maybe an hour-long setup, setting up the characters and going through the different perspectives until it actually started. The things started coming together and the mystery started unfolding. You're going to watch for an hour to get to there. And some people may not like that. I wasn't a big fan of how long it took to get to that point. But most people, I think, are going to be fine with it because it does have eerie, spooky elements along the way that keeps you going.
And to give a little context, right? It's a 2-hour movie, roughly 2 hours and 8 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And the big difference is like we have all these characters. Some get more time, less time, right? And with Barbarian, because I think a lot of people are going to compare it to that.
Barbarian only had like 3 characters.
Yeah, so that's why I feel you're not getting switched up as much, but
in
also
one house. It was like 3 characters, one house.
Yeah.
So it was kind of more closed in storyline.
So as long as you can buy in, like if you're a Zach Cregger fan, you know, The Whitest Kids You Know, that was his whole thing from before, the comedic group that he was in. I think that's where the comedic elements come from because same to like Jordan Peele, right? Key and Peele. Yeah. It's like these guys have this comedy, but I feel like they have a twisted sense because they're always like, let me push the envelope as far as it can go until it turns into horror.
So we can't give too much away because the setup and the payoff is the whole movie.
Yes.
Once you know what's going on with the children being missing, you will understand why the movie is called Weapons.
Yes,
so we can't really go into too much without spoiling anything, so that's kind of a bummer. But I will say this. Zach Cregger tells you what is going on within the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Yes.
If you keep your eyes open, you will know what exactly is happening to this town. And I'm just going to keep it at that because you'll never figure it out.
It's funny because I think Cude actually figured it out. I did not figure it out.
Well, I figured it out. I figured it out halfway through, and then I thought about like earlier in the movie. I was like, oh, he actually like just told you what it is.
Right then and there,
He actually tells you what it is.
He eventually tells you what it is, but even before that, he tells you what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think you'll kind of get what you were saying later, maybe.
Yeah.
But he pointed something out to me that I was like, oh yeah, it was right, like literally
it's
right in
there.
your face.
It's right there. And that's the one thing. The payoff for me, I wasn't a big fan of the payoff and the execution of the payoff. And there is a reason why the trailers are cut in the way they are, so they don't give you any idea of what the payoff is.
Yes,
It's kind of like how Barbarian was cut. You had no idea.
You have no idea.
I don't want to spoil Barbarian because you should definitely see that, but the way he cuts his trailers is masterful.
Yes.
In that he hides who the villain is of the movie or what is going on.
And I really appreciated that about him personally because there's so many horror films that are the opposite.
They tell you everything.
They try to tell you everything. They give you all the jump scares, whatever.
They tell you everything,
go in and then you're like, I already know all the jump scares.
Yep.
Why do I care about this?
You know the whole plot line and everything.
The trailer was more entertaining than the actual movie.
Yeah,
Whereas this is like gives me enough to be enticed to go watch, and then I have
you have no idea until you get to where they pay it off of what's happening. You have no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Now, if you like that payoff or not, is gonna be you like the payoff.
I like the payoff. I think it's not even as much. I guess. Yeah, I can't. I don't want to talk about it too much too. But
it's hard.
It's tough to talk about because like you can't really. I don't want to give anything away about the payoff. But I would just say, I guess it's not a traditional payoff.
Yeah, it leads in a way that you think like, oh, is this or that? But like, there was times where I was thinking, like, is this like a government conspiracy, or is it aliens, or
it's kind of,
and it could be those things. I'm not going to tell you, but
I think the suspense and the lead up to the payoff are the big things that I think a lot of people are going to like about this movie, and those are so good that the payoff isn't as important. But for the people who do like the payoff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I did.
And like I said,
for different reasons.
I wasn't a huge fan, and so once you see the payoff, and then it develops that aspect of the story more, I feel like, let's just cut to the ending. It just did not execute properly for me. It was a little, dare I say it, silly-ish for the ending sequence. And I feel like the comicalness of it took away from the seriousness of what the movie was trying to portray. Even with the little comedic parts or whatever, it was still a very serious movie. There's a serious movie. And I feel like he kind of undermined all that with the ending. And that leaves it vague enough where you have no idea.
I think so too, yeah. And I think with Zach Cregger, just because I know his background even before Barbarian, I went into it kind of expecting some level of that. Not quite to the level that he did it, but I wasn't surprised. So either way, I was going to be okay with like what that ending looked like, as long as it was like comedic or horror or some version of both.
So you like the ending?
I like the ending.
Okay, so this is what it is. And I hate to keep comparing it to Barbarian, but he only has 2 movies. So this, for me, it was when I saw Barbarian and then it paid off and showed what was going on for real. I was like, oh my God. When Weapons showed the payoff, I was like, oh, okay, that's fair. That's where we're going.
That's fair.
That's where we're going. It wasn't as shocking. It wasn't Was it bad? No. But it didn't have the punch in the chest like Barbarian had. Like everybody in the movie on Barbarian, it was like mouth open, like just shocked. This movie didn't have that. It was more like, oh, that's okay. All right, that's where we're gonna take it. Okay, cool. Let's go for the ride. So let's get to the scores.
I think
let's get to the scores. Yeah, because we can't spoil anything. We can't really talk too much more about it. We can't even explain why it's called Weapons, because that gives it away. No, that is the payoff.
Exactly. And I liked it enough. I'll kick off the score.
Yeah, kick it off,
I liked it enough that I don't want to spoil anything, right?
Kick it off.
I don't want to beat a dead horse here. I can't really tell you much about it anyways. I think I was on the cusp. I'm always going whole numbers.
Don't overthink it.
I'm always going whole numbers. So if I'm not at the complete whole number, then I gotta stay at the whole number. So I'm going 8. But I'm gonna give it a high 8, borderline 9.
We're going 8 out of 10. He's going 8 out of 10. I'm not going 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from JC.
8 out of 10. I'm
Put it on the scoreboard.
I'm on the cusp of a 9.
Yeah, because we were talking earlier and you were like, bro, I'm in between an 8 and a 9.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it. I hope I didn't bring your score down with my complaints.
No.
And so what this boils down for me is that this movie just did not have certain elements that spoke to me of a type of movie that this was, in my mind, was supposed to be. You know, like it was supposed to be some horror, like mystery. Children are always spooky and things like this, and it just didn't have that payoff for me. And you know what? Like, I went on YouTube and I started watching reviews, and I am either an a-hole or hypercritical, because I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that every other YouTuber is talking about. They're loving this, and they're just like, this is masterful and all this stuff. And I just can't agree with that. And I can't even give this movie Oh man. Okay, so I think
Just go for it.
I think
You just say what you feel.
I think I'm gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10, guys.
Oh!
I'm gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10.
6 is still above average, I would say. 5 is where you're hurting people.
Yeah,
6.
five is mid.
Yeah.
5 is average.
Yeah,
Mid.
6
Well,
is-
5 is mid. Six is average. This is an average movie, guys. To me, like most people are gonna like the. If you, so I loved that's where I'm so conflicted because I loved Barbarian. Barbarian is one of my favorite movies ever.
Same here.
But this movie just didn't do it for me. It just didn't do it for me. It's hard to say why it didn't because I can't really put my finger on it. It was just elements of it didn't add up to a great experience for me. And that's why I have to give it a 6. I have to be honest and give it what I felt like it went too long at times. And like I felt like I wasn't bored. I wasn't ever bored, but I definitely was in the movies just like checking my watch like, how much more do we have of this, dude? And so that's all. So I mean, in between us, it's a 7. It's a 7 out of 10. So fresh out score 7 out of 10, which is good.
Which is good.
7 out of 10 is good. So
and for me too, the reason I wasn't at that 9, I will agree with Cude, is like there were certain I love the storytelling. I love the way they did it. Certain things I was like, we don't need to go explore this as much. Certain parts I was like, that was great. This was perfect. Pacing was great. There were a couple lulls, a little bit, in my opinion. Probably more for him.
A few of the chapters went a little too long. Maybe they could have cut down.
Yeah.
7 out of 10. That's the fresh out score. 7 out of 10. This movie is good. This is a movie that you should still, even though I gave it a 6 out of 10, combined with listening to what he felt about it and everything, I've touched you a lot in this.
You have. I've been noticing that.
Ever since together, dog. Like, it's a lot of touching going on, dog. I want you to understand my gripes.
He feels bad. He thinks he lowered my score somehow.
I feel bad. So you should go see this movie in a theater with an audience. Because I will say, even if I wasn't like fully hyper entertained, the audience around us was definitely entertained and laughing,
including myself.
And on the spooky parts, they were scared and just like, this is a movie to go see in the movie theaters, dude.
This is.
So
it's a movie theater movie for sure.
So yeah, thanks for watching. Fresh Out. I'm Cude.
I'm JC.
Yeah, and we'll catch you next time. What's the next movie, dude?
I'm thinking Nobody 2. That's the next one coming out.
Okay, I dug Nobody 1. Yeah. I'll have to watch it again just to refresh my memory because I watched it like right when it came out. But yeah, Nobody, I guess, is the next one. So wait for it, dog. It's coming, dog.
Yeah,
get off our back
and
already.
Make sure
like and subscribe.
Hit that like
and
button.
Get off of our back
Hit that
already,
subscribe button.
Dude.
Come on. Help us out here.
Come on. Help us out, dude.
If you disagree with Cude, comment in the comments.
Yeah, please comment if you disagree with me. If you loved weapons, disagree. So we can have some type of discourse. It would be great.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think that I'm cooking with dog water. So we'll see how it goes.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, yeah, you think so. You gave it.
Well, we can't
you wanted to
disagree
give it a
sometimes.
9. You wanted to give it a 9.
I said I was on the cusp.
I'm like a whole 3 points lower.
I told him I was going to give it a 9, but I changed my mind.
Yeah, he switched it up, dude. He switched it up. He didn't want to make me seem too bad of a person. Thank you, dude. That's what friends are for. Next time on Fresh Out.
Fresh Out.
R.I.P. dude. We do R.I.P. screams like R.I.P.
Wasted.
Baller. Wasted. From GTA, dude. That's funny.
We should try to do
All right, dude, we're done. Turn it off. Click off, dude. We're out of here. Peace.
We're done.
Get out of here, dude.